Hey, what's going on everyone? This is iReviews back with another video, and today we're talking about iOS 27. Now, we're looking forward for this update, and it's coming on its first beta really soon. We're under 2 months away now from the release of the first beta of iOS 27, and we have some great news, some great leaks and reports for iOS 27. Now, before we get into all that, I just want to ask you guys for a really quick favor. Most of you guys that watch my videos are still not subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy the videos and you want to see more of them, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel a lot. And we're starting with the first one, and that has to do with home screen customization. Now, this is a report that comes from Mark Gurman, who is our very trusted source when it comes to Apple related stuff, and of course iOS. He has always been spot on with his reports regarding iOS updates. And here it talks about the customization on the home screen. According to him, Apple is testing a home screen customization tweak on iOS 27 that will basically allow you to undo and redo like customizations that you do on your home screen. The way it will work: when you go to your home screen now on iOS 26, you have this menu right here where you can go to customize, and once you're here, you will have now basically two different buttons that will allow you to just move between different setups that you have on your home screen. So you customize your home screen, you will have an undo button and a redo button to go back to the old, to the previous, or to the next like setup that you have on your home screen. And that should be part of this menu right here, the customization menu that we currently have on iOS 26. That should be an addition to this and will of course be very helpful and will allow you to much easier actually customize your home screen way better than before. Now, here's another hint by Apple, another change that is coming. According to Gurman, Apple actually is giving us a hint with an invitation here about the new UI for Siri on iOS 27. So we know now that a new Siri is coming with iOS 27, and the way it will work, basically the interface will be different. Now when you invoke Siri, it will show up on the dynamic island. The dynamic island will expand and it will have this glow, which Apple hints right here. It will have that glow around the dynamic island right there. This is another change that is coming to the UI of iOS 27. Now with iOS 26, Apple has added like a small change to the liquid glass, which allows you to change the way liquid glass looks on your device. And you can do that by going to display and brightness. And then just right here under liquid glass, we can move from clear to tinted. But according to Mark Gurman, Apple will allow us to customize the liquid glass way more than before by adding a slider similar to the one that you have for the clock on the lock screen. Now that part right there on the lock screen that is on iOS 26, I think is just basically a test from Apple to actually see how that will work, and they're looking to implement that into iOS, so it will be a system-wide slider which allows to basically control the amount of the liquid glass that you have on your interface, just like you do with the clock on the lock screen. Now again, just talking about all these new features, maybe some of them will come with later updates like 27.1 or 27.2, but according to Gurman, Apple is actually working on these features, and most of them might even come with the initial release of iOS 27. Now, Apple is also adding a lot of new features to Apple Intelligence. Finally, we hope it will be actually worth having it on your device. And one of them that has actually been leaked on the code of iOS is the ability to scan food for nutrition details. So instant nutrition details once you scan food with the camera of your iPhone. That's part of iOS 27 and the new Apple Intelligence features. New Apple Intelligence features also will allow you to add contacts by simply scanning like real world text. So you point your camera at maybe a number or things like that, you can just directly go ahead and add it as a contact. and you will be able to also create now different digital passes using tickets or memberships. These are all parts of the new packages that are coming for Apple Intelligence with iOS 27, and all these features, the three features we talked about coming to Apple Intelligence, have actually been leaked or just have been spotted on the code of iOS. So we know they're basically Apple is working on them and most likely will be part of the initial release of iOS 27. Now, another one of these features will be on Safari. So we have talked about this previously, about these features coming to Safari. Apple is adding actually Apple Intelligence features to Safari. One of them will be quite useful because Safari now will be able to auto-organize your tab groups based on content. So it basically scans your tabs, knows what content is on each tab, and will organize them into different groups, like let's say news, sports, music, or stuff like that, based on what content that tab has opened. And according to Mark Gurman, of course, Apple is planning to do a ton of different tweaks on the UI of iOS. Don't expect anything major like we had with iOS 26, but expect to have a ton of like smaller tweaks throughout iOS with iOS 27. And according to Mark Gurman, this is a process that will go a few years, of course, just like we had that on iOS 17.7. Actually, once it was released, it was totally different from iOS 6, but we could see there, like in the next years, Apple actually had made a lot of tweaks and made it way better than it was initially with the release of iOS 7. So these are some of the new features that we know are coming to iOS 27. Again, a lot of different tweaks on the UI, a lot of really now useful Apple Intelligence features, but also the ability to customize your device way better than before with iOS 27. But when can we expect this update to be released? Now, we know that the first beta is coming on June the 8th. We know that Apple has now confirmed, of course, WWDC 2026, June the 8th, a Monday as usual. After Apple does all the presentations, they will release the first beta to the devs, and that's when basically not just devs but everyone will be able to test this software. Even though these initial releases are quite buggy and most likely will drain the battery, but we'll have to wait and see for that. And then, as usually towards the middle of July, we will have most likely the first public beta. I would expect that to happen somewhere right here, like the 13th of July or maybe the 20th of July should be the time when Apple releases the first public beta. That's the time that Apple thinks the beta is stable enough for the public to test it. And then, of course, towards the middle of September, I expect this update to go out to the public. I would say most likely the 14th of September. Usually this will happen on a Monday because Apple will do a presentation of the new iPhones on a Monday. They go on pre-order on a Friday. They get shipped on the next Friday, and the Monday before the iPhones get shipped, the new iOS is out. So most likely the 14th of September will be the day that Apple releases iOS 27 to the public. So that is it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button, and of course subscribe for more videos like this. iOS 27 is looking to be very interesting, and hopefully a way more stable, a way more better update when it comes to performance and battery, even though iOS 26 in my experience hasn't been that bad at all. So that is it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.